Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the studio. I've been planning for a long time to remaster my album Oceans, so here I will review some plugins while I'm working on that. I just recently got a new interface, the SSL12, so I have a 3-month trial for the SSL plugins, the native plugins. So what I'm trying to do is to look at the Fusion series of plugins, there are 5 of them, and try to see if I can make the sound of my album better with these plugins and then compare them to others and see if they are worth it. So you are welcome to join me on this journey and let's get started. In this first episode, we are going to look at Saturators, which add some analog feel to the sound. I mean, VCV Rack is already a digital version of some analog modules, but if you want to get some more analog distortion or drive, then there are a lot of different options that you can use. So we are going to compare the SSL Fusion vintage drive to these other modules that you can see here. And I mean plugins. I might say modules a couple of times because that's what they are called in modular synthesizers. And these function like modules. So you put them in a chain and then change the sound. So the saturation knob by Softube, the Magma BB Tubes from Waves, the Oneknob Driver stereo also in the Waves collection, as well as the Ozone 11 exciter, which is a multiband saturator. And first, however, I am going to show you the SSL Fusion hardware, which is basically a complete mastering suite. And we are going to try to replicate this in software form. The software versions of these different sections have some extra features, actually, so we are going to look at that. But first I'm going to show you the setup that I'm using here to record all of this. So as you can see, I'm using Reaper as my main DAW. It's using very little of my CPU, so it makes making these videos easier, and it's very customizable. I really like Reaper for that. And the other DAW that I'm using, because I need a second DAW to record in my voice and loopback, is Studio One 6, version 6, and I find this really easy to use. So let me show you my audio setup here. We have the loopback up here, which I'm recording, and also my microphone that is going through the SSL12 interface. And the setup is super easy, so you just add the different inputs here and you're good to go. Now, let's see the SSL Fusion vintage drive module. As you can see, it first starts with this input gain setting, so you can make it quieter or louder as the audio comes in. I'm using an equalizer and some other module at the beginning. I will show you instead of this and the high-pass filter. And then the first one that you have here that you can switch on and off is the vintage drive. And we're going to look at the settings in detail for this. So this is what we are going to start with. And then we are going to look at, in the next episode, the violet EQ, which is an equalizer, as you can see, with 2 bands, low and high, and some other settings. Then we are going to check out the high frequency compressor, as well as the stereo image. And finally, this is just a button here, which is a transformer circuit. And if you scroll down here in the manual, then you can see that these are the 5 sections that we have. So let's begin the fun and start mastering. It says mixing here, but you know, these are my own songs, so I can, my own recordings, so I can change the sound as much as I want. I can transform it as just one channel. You could call it mixing, you can call it mastering, you can call it whatever you want. And well, first, if you look at Reaper here, I'm using the, okay, let me be on the right channel, because we have two recordings here. As you can see, one is the first track on my first album, and actually the first song that I recorded in VCV Rack, which I recorded in 44.1 kilohertz, but now I'm working in 48 kilohertz. Reaper resamples this so that we can have it here in the same in the timeline here on two tracks. And the second track is a more rhythmic one, so we can listen to the modules, I mean plugins, with drums as well, and hear how they sound. And as you can see up here, my first plugin is just an EQ, because I try to re-EQ my song, as I didn't have too much of the high frequencies, so I pulled these up a little bit and re-EQ'd this as the first step. And of course you can set the input gain, and I normalized everything to -6 dB, so if I pull things up, then we are not clipping. And you can also check the effects. You can also check the tonal balance with the iZotope's tonal balance control. This is just at the end, so we can see how we're doing here. You can see that we have very little high frequencies. We might try to change this a little bit so we get a more open sound. But you know, this is set to EDM now, electronic music. These are just guidelines, of course. It's the sound, so let's listen. This might take a while, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. And I hope you learn something from this video. And let's start with the vintage drive, which is now enabled here. However, you have to press this button first. And as you can see, I was wrong. You actually have an input trim here, so you can turn it down and up if you think that your level is too high. And let me turn down the drive first and the density. I've been playing around with this for a while, so I already set the setting that I actually like. And you also have this mix knob here. Does it have it on the hardware module? Let's see. Well, as far as I can see, it doesn't. So this is something you can do. You can mix the dry and the wet sound if you want. So we are at 100% wet right now. And I have looping enabled, so the song starts again. And let's see. If I turn this off, I turn it on. And let me turn up the drive, and I'll be quiet. I try to be quiet so you can hear this. And I'm turning up the volume on my interface. I mean, I'm going to turn it up to the max so you can hear it in, you know, what effect it has if we are going to full distortion. You have this drive knob, which adds distortion. Oh, yes. You could hear it like this. We want to avoid this. This is not the goal here, that we distort the sound. We just want to add a little bit of saturation here. And I have the manual open so we can see what is doing what. So this vintage drive, it's always good to look at the manual, because then you know what is happening. So the drive adds gain, introducing a unique saturation to the signal, and you can hear it. And the density, it fine-tunes the effect of the circuit. Lower values produce emphasis towards the even order harmonics, so higher values than odd harmonics. I'm going to put a link below in the description to Wikipedia or whatever, which will explain even and odd order harmonics for you if you're interested. And as I said, the mix knob blends the signal. And you have some tips and tricks here, so let's try to follow these. 1 is the least amount of drive, and 11 is the most. Just like on the interface, the highest volume is at 11. And the LED provides feedback, how hard the circuit is driven. Green, orange, red. And let's see the tips. Lower density, we know this. Yeah, so it says for the density knob, between 3 and 7 can thicken the mix. And okay, so these are the tips and tricks. Let's try to put this into practice. I found that being down here, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, adds, while we're in the green zone, it adds some analog feel to it, but it doesn't distort the sound. So let's turn it off and on to hear the difference. I mean, it's very subtle, as you can see. I have the output trim already turned down a little bit, but we can turn this up a little bit. So we are at the same level. And now let's try this density knob. Let me turn it up so we can hear it. This is a game of patience, so you just turn the knobs until you find the sound that you like the most. And now let's do like an A/B comparison. If I click here in Reaper, unfortunately you have clicking sound, so we might have it as I turn on the other modules, plugins. But here we don't have it, so I can turn it off and on so we can hear the difference. This is without it. And you could of course loop a section and then listen. I mean, the effect is very subtle, as I said, but I like the sound. I really like this SSL sound. Let's stay in the green zone. What else is here? The mix. You have this auto gain feature, so you don't have to play around with this knob, but I'll just do it manually. Yeah, we are loud. So let's turn it down a little bit. And yeah, I like it. Now let's turn it off. And let's look at the next one. Now you could hear the pop. Sorry about that. And it's going to be the saturation knob by Softube. And as you can see, this is a free plugin, and they say that it's too good to be free. So let's check it. It has 3 modes with 3 kinds of distortion character. I keep mixing these up, like what is keep high and keep low and neutral. One of them is focused more on the high frequencies, the other one on the low frequencies. So yeah, so let's try it. Let's just go with the sound. I'm going to turn it on. So here we have it. And I want to focus on the high. I want to distort more the high notes, of course. Not of course, but you know, it depends. It's not, there are no drums here, so I want to focus on the higher frequencies. And you can see here the input and the output levels, and you can turn down the input gain and the output gain if you pull this up and down so that you are not clipping. And now when the song starts over again, we're going to hear what it sounds like. And I'm going to turn this knob up. I found this setting quite okay, but this is very harsh, this Softube module, so you can see how much gain difference you are getting. I like this visualization here. And you can hear the full distortion. Like, this is not what we're going for here. Let's try the other settings. Yeah, so yeah, not for this track. The neutral one. You have to keep it quite low, like maybe at 1 and below. Yeah, it is for me more distortion than saturation. So this is the setting that I like the most. 0.7 at keep low, where we have just a little effect. Let's do an A/B comparison. Yeah, so yeah, you can hear it, the difference. Not for this song. So let's check out the next plugin that we have here. It's the BB Tubes. I have the manuals all open here. This one is a bit more complex because it has these 2 knobs, the Beauty and the Beast. And I haven't used this for a while, so I have to revise the manual. Yeah, fortunately, it's short and really well written. So this knob, the Beauty knob, adds tube saturation, even harmonics, slight harmonic distortion, which makes the sound warmer and bigger. So yeah, that's our goal, I think, to increase the beauty of our song. Slight harmonic distortion. And the Beast is again gentle harmonic distortion, primarily for aggressive saturation, 0 to 10. Sensitivity knob, what, number 3, yeah, is here. What does it do? Input gain. Oh, this is great, because you can kind of exclude the low frequencies from the distortion, so we are focusing more on the high frequencies. It also has a transformer circuit like the SSL, Fusion hardware. We are not focusing on the transformer. That's going to be in episode 5. Then you can select different tube types. Different harmonic structures is what they represent. Type A, type B. Shelf EQ to increase or decrease the high frequency before the tube engine. And you can increase, there's an EQ that you can add after the distortion. I pre-EQ'd the song, so we are not going to use this either. It also has a wet-dry mix knob, so you can mix, you can do like parallel processing, so you can mix the wet and the dry signals. Output gain, okay, so fairly standard stuff, but really great that we have all these options. Now let's hear it. It also has this visualization, so we can see how much saturation we are adding. Let me turn it on. Okay, so I have the input gain turned down a little bit, as you can see. I turned up the bass here, so we are focusing on the low frequencies, high frequencies I mean. The transformer is on. Let's hear what it is without it. I obviously like the transformer, otherwise I wouldn't have it on. Yeah, you might get these changes in sound, unfortunately. Yeah, let's keep it off for now. Sorry about that. Let's turn up the beauty knob. And you can see how much saturation we're adding. Let's hear it at the max. Oh yeah, then it distorts. Yeah, quite nice, actually. Like, I know my recording, I've heard this many times as I was preparing my album, so I can hear the difference. So you can distort it. Yeah, I'm at 50% volume. Oh. Sorry about that. On my interface right now, and it's quite loud. Now let's hear the type B. Yeah, I should try to finish this by the time the song finishes, so let me turn this down because I could feel some pressure on my ears when I was putting this beast mode up. I'm using the Sony headphones, studio monitors, for this session. Yeah, that's my favorite setting, approximately. But you know, try this module, this plugin, and play around with it and hear if it makes a difference to your recording. Let's keep going and check out the next plugin that I have here, which is this Oneknob Driver stereo version, and it's also in the Waves bundle subscription, so I have that now so that I can try these different plugins and show them to you, and you know, decide which ones I like. Let's listen to it. I'm going to turn it on. And you know, it's very simple. I don't know, it doesn't even have a manual. You have this Oneknob series, which is you know, fun because it's easy. You just turn up one knob and you can, and this is the one we are using, the driver. So if you look at the user drive, the user manual, and you go to the driver module, you can see that it can do from light overdrive to full-on distortion, analog style processor inspired by guitar pedals, but it's not just for guitars. It adds some warmth rather than screeching high frequencies. So it should sound great on everything, they say. Vocals, piano, synths, drum, bass. Well, let's put this to the test. This is at 0.8. This is at 0. And I try to stay quiet, and I turned up the volume on my headphones. So it's already distorting here, as you can hear. And this is not, you know, it depends what you want. So I just want like light. So this is off. This is on. Yeah, I can hear that, you know, like, yeah, distortion. I mean, it's all right. I still like the SSL one the most. It's very subtle, but it's very beautiful. So let's go to the next one. And actually, I realized that we have to look at all these, or we can look at all these different plugins on the rhythmic song as well. So after we go through this song here, I'm going to quickly go through them on the other tune. Yeah. So let's see. And now we get to the Ozone exciter, and this is the first one that is multiband, so you can set different frequency bands and change the saturation at different levels for the different frequencies. So this is very versatile. I suppose I have the manual here, and I wanted to mention the FabFilter plugins as well. And you have this Saturn 2 multiband distortion saturation plugin, which is similar to the Ozone one. However, my trial expired, and I don't want to pay 129 euros for this. It's amazing. It's as good as the Ozone one. So the Ozone 11 one has the, where is it? Exciter here. Mix and match between 7 different types of distortion, different flavors, tape, retro, tube. As I said, it's multiband, so you can create your own unique sound. Now, I've used this quite a lot, so let's see. Let me turn it on. And then you can select the frequency bands manually if you want. So you can do it automatically if you want. You can push this learn button. Interesting. We have this oversampling here. Aha. So you have to click here. I already set the different frequencies, as you can see, but it can do it automatically if you want. So it will kind of find the frequencies for you. Actually, let's reset everything. So this is how it starts, and then you add these frequency ranges. Let's say until, you know, the bass, let's go until about 160, then the mid frequencies, and then let's go with the high. And you have 4 bands. You can adjust it if you want, or you press this learn button and it will adjust it for you automatically. But you know, my sound is changing all the time. This song is like that you are going, you know, sometimes you have more low frequencies, sometimes you have more high frequencies. This is just how I wanted to make this. So sometimes it's better if you do it manually. Then you have this crossover, as you can see. You can actually turn them on and off, and you can solo the different bands. Which is great. And now let's turn up some of the amounts. So you can listen to your whole mix or the different bands individually, obviously, and you can also mix the unprocessed and the processed sound. I have it at 100%. Okay, let's start turning up the different settings. Once we start the song over again, I like this recording of mine, I have to say. I can listen to it over and over again without getting bored of it. I hope you too. So let's get to it. Let me start with this low-mid frequency range. And you can gain match here as well, so you don't get too loud, and you can see the levels, the peaks and the RMS. Yeah, I could hear it. You could hear it too. Yeah. So you can select different models here, and even different models on different frequency bands. So let's go with the analog one everywhere for now. And you know, if I play around with all the different models and all the different settings, this video is going to be extremely long. So you can do that in your own time. You can solo this. So if I turn it up, the sound, well, it's very subjective, of course. But I like the sound. Yeah. And for example, if one of your, yeah, you could see it in the, like if I show you the tonal balance here. But first, of course, remove the solo. You can see that we have very little high, mid, and high frequencies. So the saturation modules are actually great for raising the levels as well of those. instead of an EQ. Yeah, I can hear the distortion now, so let's turn it down a little bit. Turn up the high one. I mean, these are the really high frequencies, and you need good headphones or speakers in order to hear all of these changes. So I hope you put on your headphones. I forgot to mention it at the beginning of the video. Let's listen to the bass sound here. And you also have a delta button, so you can hear the difference. So between the pre-processed and the post-processed sound, let me push that. So you hear the distortion only. And let me see if I covered everything here. We could go mid-side and other modes, but we'll just stay with the stereo at the moment. Oh, I have this oversampling turned off, so I turn it back on. Then it sounds even better. So that's the distortion that we are adding, but you know, mixed together with the original sound. You can turn this mix down as well if you want, but you have to be, you know, really careful and take your time and make the sound as great as possible. And with that, we are done with the saturation for this recording. And let's quickly go through with the other song, Ambient 33. If you're still here, I have the timestamps below, so you know you can jump ahead and back if you want. So let me turn this down and pause it. I might actually go back here so we can loop and go back. I'm going to mute this. I'm going to unmute this. And now we have this second channel. Let me play it. So as you can hear here, I have some hi-hats and I have some bass drums and all from VCV Rack. Link to the song is below, of course, in the description. And let's hear the different modules, plugins. Here we have the effects. Okay. Vintage Drive on drums. Yeah, I think the bass has a bit more thump to it. The auto gain turned on now. And this was my favorite setting, so I'm just going to go pre and post. Of course, you could add multiple on top of each other and destroy everything, but let's just go one by one. I stayed quite low here on this one, as you can see. I also turn on the gain. Let me turn it up. Yeah. I mean, you would have a need to auto gain here because sometimes, you know, when you are, let me turn it down. When you are adding some effects, it can be misleading that you hear like, oh, okay, the drum sounds this like this and that, but actually it's just the volume, so it's just louder. So you have to try to match the gains here. So we go up here to, yeah, let's see. Oh, yeah, we don't want to clip. But I actually have this, the maximizer, I hope it's on the master track. So we can avoid clipping from Ozone. What do I have? I also have Insight Pro here. Let me show you. So we can monitor the loudness. Okay, next module, next plugin. BB Tubes. Let me turn it up for off, on. Yeah, we don't want to clip. You can see here we're at minus 2.4, that's fine. Yeah, sounds great. Next one. One knob. Oh yeah, like it really changes the sound, as you can hear. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this, but to each their own. And then let's try it with the exciter. And I already have set this up beforehand. I was trying these out, of course. And this is the setting that I like the most. Let's do an A/B comparison. Before, after. You can also bypass it here, so we can do better A/B comparison. Let's listen to the delta. So this is what we have added. It's actually not that much. I don't know if you can hear the birds in the background. I can hear it in my headphones. I might use some modules to reduce the ambient noise on my voice. I'll see how it sounds when I'm done with this recording and mix it all together. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video and the audio. Let me know what you think about the different plugins. What do you use any of them? Which one do you like? What sound did you like the most? And we will soon continue with the next one, the next episode. If you look at the Fusion hardware module, the next one is going to be EQ, as you can see. So we will look at that before we go to compression. Exciting stuff. I mean, I love this stuff. So take care. See you in the next one. Peace.